Hi, and welcome to our information session today on our Introduction to Graduate Legal Studies. My name's Meghan Thomas, and I'm the Director of Professional Graduate and International Programs at Osgoode Professional Development, which means that I oversee all of our degree and diploma programs that we offer here at Osgoode at the graduate level that are designed for professionals. And today I'm going to be talking about some of the questions that we hear most often from people who are interested in taking our course, coming to us without a previous law degree, and questions about our Introduction to Graduate Legal Studies course. So we are so fortunate at Osgoode PD to have applicants who are coming from a variety of professional settings to take our program. A number of years ago, we realized that Master of Laws programs were not just for lawyers anymore, that they really had a lot to offer for people who work in other settings where they're dealing with legal issues, with risk compliance, with highly regulated settings. And so we really wanted to open the doors for people without previous formal legal study to take an LLM degree. And in order to facilitate that and promote student success for those applicants, what we needed to do was make sure that there was something at the beginning of the program that would bridge their sector-specific or professional-specific legal knowledge into a formal legal study. And so the Introduction to Graduate Legal Studies course is meant to really boil down what it means to be in law school to a course format where we situate the person's legal knowledge within the broader Canadian legal context, and we introduce the academic skills that are needed for graduate legal study. So the course is structured over about a 2-month period. And what we try to do is get students into the course website environment about a month in advance. So that means you're studying over sort of a 3-month or so period. You get all of your course material in advance. So reading and any assignments that you need to do, you have all of that information when you are in the course website initially. That allows you to plan for your reading time, your class time, your assignment writing time, and so on. And so what you can expect from the course is reading in advance, a little bit of video and other content that the instructor is providing you, and then you'll do in the live class time, which are about every 1 to 2 weeks during the course period. You'll do some work where you'll hear from the instructor, you'll ask questions, you'll do some group work with your fellow classmates. You'll then go away and produce your assignments in the course. The instructor will come back with feedback, and you'll have an opportunity to implement that feedback in following courses. So there's really a mix of individual learning from your instructor, and learning in an interactive setting where you're exchanging ideas and asking questions with your fellow students. And that really reflects the style that we have in most of our courses in the professional LLM. I think the beauty of this course is that it reflects that our students who don't have previous law degrees really have different challenges with legal study from person to person. Now, there are some common themes, but they're not common to every individual person. So what the course fundamentally allows you to do is to read the content, so learn about the Canadian legal system, see where the gaps in your own knowledge might be. So if you are coming from a very specific setting and you know about the law in that narrow slice, you're going to get a bit of a broader understanding. The second really important thing it allows you to do is to practice the skills of how we critique and discuss legal concepts in a graduate legal classroom environment, whether that's an in-person or online environment. So that might be different from previous learning that people have done. You know, what's important when you read a case or an article? How do we engage in effective critique and debate about legal topics? And then the third piece of that is the academic work. So there are a number of assignments that get done in the course. You get feedback and you see whether, you know, is the work that you're producing in line with what your instructors are going to be expecting, or are there some adjustments that you need to make? So our philosophy with the course is really, here are the things that are important. Some students are going to have challenges with one element of that. Some may have challenges with more. Other students may find the course very straightforward and they're very comfortable with the deliverables. So it's really about that confirming what you're comfortable with, working on the skills that are important to you, and allowing you that opportunity to make those adjustments and create the self-awareness of where the bigger challenges might be in graduate legal studies. Really what is most important is the time management for reading. So getting used to reading the legal material, becoming efficient in reading so that you know what you're looking for, because if you're reading a 100-page case, you aren't necessarily reading every word very carefully. You're looking for the key learnings. That's something that you would learn how to do in this course. Writing is important, and the style of writing that we use in law, and so lots of opportunity to practice that, so that when you're doing take-home exams that might involve fact patterns or critical theory questions, when you're doing research papers later on in your course, that you would be comfortable with those skills. And also really squeezing the most benefit out of the classroom environment. So again, how are some really beneficial ways of engaging with your classmates and discussing the issues that are of interest to you and creating that network of learning. In this course, we use what I would say are smaller building blocks toward the larger assignments that you do later on in LLM courses. So there are three main assignments, written assignments that get done in the Introduction to Graduate Legal Studies course. The first one is a case brief, which is really where you look at a case that's been decided and you learn how to parse out the important elements of that case. And how you would use that case for fact pattern analysis or for critique. The second assignment is a legal memo, and that's a predictive analysis assignment where you are presented with a scenario and you come up with a predicted outcome or an analysis of the different legal issues that are raised. And that's one of our key learning outcomes at the graduate level in legal study, is understanding how to look at a fact situation and understand what the likely outcome would be and how you get to that outcome. And the third assignment is a case comment, which is really a building block toward legal research papers. And a case comment is where, again, you look at a case that's been decided and you take a position on that case. So you are either agreeing with or you're critiquing the reasoning, the decision, or some element of that case. And again, helps to develop that idea of how do we effectively critique in the legal environment. Well, I think what students start to get in this course is lots of support from the instructor. So our instructor for this course is always going to be someone who is very comfortable and excited about teaching new students in the program, really interested to get to know all of you as professionals and learn from the settings that you come from, but be very attuned to the idea that legal study is probably new to you. And so there's a real focus on conversations, availability for questions, and then providing that detailed feedback. And if your assignments are coming in and there are specific areas of concern for you to work on, then you would be asked to produce a new version of those assignments to address whatever needs work in those assignments. And then the other piece of the support is really the support from our team. So all of our students have access to our student experience team, and what we always encourage them to do is, if there's something that they're finding particularly difficult, if they're interested in other resources, if they just want to chat to somebody about their plans for their program, they can always reach out and be in touch with us.